Rock Hill Parks, Recreation, and Tourism. They're in the studio this morning, and we typically have the one and only Lori Helms. But Lori has stayed very busy over the last couple of weeks, as did all of the city staff members, whether you're part of Rock Hill PRT or beyond, because we had the UCI BMX Racing World Championships. So while Lori is doing some R&R, she's going to be back with us next month. She has in her place the wonderful David Linder joining us here on Palmetto Mornings. And good morning to you, David.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
David and I, in full disclosure, are neighbors, so I always love catching up with David because sadly, this is the only chance we get to talk to each other.
Yeah.
But
you guys
you're
are like
busy.
your own neighborhood watch team, is what I've observed.
If he's not on the phone, usually I am. So it's one of the
and
two.
we wave at each other as we're coming in and out of the neighborhood. But I've known David for a long time, known your family as well. And actually, small world, went to Spain with his mom.
Oh,
and sat beside her on the flight, but that's another story for another day.
And his family grew up on the road named Thrailkill, which is where my family has a farm.
Unreal. It is a small world.
It's a generational farm. It's been the family 140-something years. So.
That's amazing,
So the 6
David.
degrees of Lucas McFadden and David Linder.
There you go.
David is part of the Rock Hill Parks, Recreation, and Tourism staff. He kind of is over the tourism part of that equation. And David, my goodness, when you look at tourism, Rock Hill was in the world view for the UCI BMX Racing World Championships. Now that life is somewhat back to normal for you all, have you let out a big sigh of like, we did it?
I tell you, it was nice to have a nice 4-day weekend. But and honestly, it's hard to believe we're on this side of the event after 2 years of planning leading up to this. Just all the community involvement, the city involvement, the planning. It was really a process, but it was awesome to see the support from the community. But being on this side of it, it's kind of like, what's next?
You peaked, but I feel like for you all, you always have so many exciting things coming down the pipeline. But before you get too far away from it, really recap for the community. What was the big highlight, stuff that surprised you that you just didn't expect or plan, and it went out so well?
Yeah, so this year, everything we did, all we had was 2017 to go off of. And 2017 was new for us. It was new for the event. They hadn't been to the United States since 2001. So it was new for the international bodies, new for the UCI as well. So this year for the practice days and the day leading up to it, we didn't expect the amount of turnout we had, which was amazing. The excitement from the international community was amazing. The stands were packed. Even on the day they couldn't get on the track, they just wanted to come see it. The 2 practice days, the stands were full or almost full. It was almost like having race days. And so from a staff perspective, it was exciting to see the excitement and the visitors that came to Rock Hill.
Amazing.
I know the numbers are still being crunched on everything from the economic impact to the amount of visitors and some other stuff. And we're going to have Rock Hill PRT back on the show to kind of share with those numbers. But David, for when folks are looking at this, again, we hosted it in 2017. We hosted it again in 2024. To Alex's point, what changed in terms of the city? Like what did you all do differently this time because you were armed and more knowledgeable versus the first time that you did it?
Well, it certainly helped the pre-planning stage. In 17, we were kind of thrust into it. Didn't really have anything to go on. This, so we used 17 as a playbook going into 24. So in a lot of cases, it made things easier from the load in, load out schedule. Working with our medical community, bringing in Atrium Health and working with Piedmont, things went a lot smoother, which is awesome. The Med 1 unit, which is a complete hospital, in there, then the support from Piedmont as well, and having that staff knowledgeable because they worked the Carolina Nationals, they had worked the BMX Worlds before, so they kind of had an expectation of what it was. And so from that perspective, things flowed a lot smoother. We were dealing with a little bit different UCI leadership body than from 17. We're fortunate we'd been working with that same body, so we were familiar who the players were. But other than that, probably the biggest difference is, in 17, we didn't have the indoor venue, and this year we did, and we ran an indoor event at the same time. So it was pretty awesome. I mean, the city was full. We were running from the indoor to the whole outdoor system for 12, 14 days. I'm sure the restaurants and hotels were happy. I can't wait to get that economic impact data. So.
David, we spent a morning out there doing this show, and everyone we interviewed that were not part of the city or the county, that were part of either a photographer or the medical staff or a member of the UCI racing team, just commented over and over again about the track. Now, I know a delegation from Rock Hill PRT visited other tracks throughout the world. How do other tracks differ, or they're similar to our tracks? Because we only know our track.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so actually it's really like a science, and I'll give credit to Jesse Holloman and his maintenance crew. Because of the humidity in the area, the texture of the soil, you really can't base it off of Florida, and you can't base it off of Virginia. So the soil textures make a difference. The humidity makes a difference. And so they've, working with other tracks, have created a system. It's called a slurry. So it's brown, but it is hard as asphalt. And that's for a reason, because we can race in any kind of condition. The only thing that stops us is lightning. So that's the only thing. We've raced in downpours. It also helps in the unfortunate incident a rider goes down. It doesn't scar the track up as deep if it would have been a softer dirt. So basically, it's even though there's a little scar on the track, you can continue to race as well. So it's really, those guys have gotten it down to a science now.
That's a real fun fact. I have no idea about that. And you don't think about how does ours differ from Florida or the climate other places.
Right.
Very neat.
We're speaking with David Linder. He's part of Rock Hill Parks, Recreation, and Tourism. David, we've hosted this event now twice, and while we were out there, we did ask city staff, is this going to be a third time that we're going to host it? And they said, let's get through with this one first. But we've kind of made a name for ourselves a little bit by hosting an event like this on the world stage, because they raced here, and then the next competition for these racers would be the Olympics.
The Olympics in July, that's correct.
Yeah.
So, but hosting an event like this, what does it do for other sports in and around the city of Rock Hill and other venues around our community?
Well, once again, we never stop programming events. We led right back into this past weekend softball tournament, 80-team softball, youth softball tournament. I mean, it's a credit, honestly, and I don't say this lightly, to our city council, city management that gives us the resources and the support to do the things we do. A lot of communities outsource the management of those large events, like the indoor or BMX or velodrome. They outsource those. And so to have the support from city council management and even our own PRT management to entrust us to go run these large events and represent the city well, it's a privilege to get to go do that. So,
and I would probably say to that, that's why we get the big championships, because big championships will attract other championships,
correct.
Right?
That's
I
correct.
know this July we've got another big opportunity coming to the Indoor Sports Center.
It'll be the Adidas again.
That's what
and
it
Brian
is.
Jones will be here to talk about that soon.
Yeah.
That, and we're running Ocho again in August, which is always a fun event, unique event. And then also in August, we're running a Velodrome Nationals again. So, we continue to look to expand, and we're pretty soon we'll start planning for the BMX Nationals again in March, and it was just ongoing.
The wheels keep
on turning. That's right.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, wow. Well, to David's point, the day-to-day operations of Rock Hill PRT, they continue. I know you've got all kind of camps where folks can sign up for that, and all kind of rec leagues, so don't forget to take part in that. Well, congratulations, David, to you and again the rest of the staff there within the PRT umbrella and beyond within the city for all hands on deck, and did a really great showing for the on the world stage. I mean, we absolutely love it, and third time's a charm. How about that?
There you go. We'll see. Yeah.
Selfishly, we want to just be out there
We want
again.
it for
That's
you.
it, exactly. And I think we all want to participate in the media showdown.
Of course. I bet a pack of crackers on you and lost it. So
I know, I'm sorry. But I moved up from third place to previous
To
time to
second.
second place.
You did. That's true.
So
You did.
I did some growth there.
There you go.
And we want to remind folks that if you saw a lot of racing at the BMX Worlds and you were thinking, I want to do this, you can race throughout the year on
That's
our
correct.
track. That's another part of it.
Yes, that's correct. We have the Try the Track free program for beginners. We do a Friday night racing, which is free. Come out and watch it if you've never seen it. The pump track, if you've got a young child that just wants to see what it's like, they can pay, I think it's a $5 fee, sign a waiver. They can put their bike on the pump track. It's a great introductory tool. It's also a great learning tool for getting out onto the track. So lots of opportunities.
A lot of fun.
Yeah. David, as always, sir, thank you very much. 8:50.